Welcome to the next project, and yet another 3D print project tool for guitar building and repair and all that good stuff. Today we're taking a look at a template that is going to be helpful for installing blade switches, like a 3-way or a 5-way Strat style switch. You could use this on a pickguard material or potentially in a body that has back routing that has a thin enough top surface where you could get the switch through. The idea came out of using a palm router base with a little insert. This is a 1/2 inch outside diameter insert, and it will fit right into the groove in there and slide back and forth just the right amount to cut a slit for the blade switch. My original design had a whole bunch of lines on it for alignment and registration, yada, yada, yada. Well, after I printed this and messed with it a bit, I was like, I can get rid of some of these lines, make it less confusing. So I went to version 2 already, and we've got our slit here that we'll use with our router base to cut the slit, and then we've got 2 holes. But you're saying, wait a minute, on switches, the slit and the holes are in a line. You're right, they are. But in this template, they're not. So what's going on? So what I've done is I've got outside markers that will line up with our horizontal line. We will drill or mark where the holes are going to be for the mounting screws. We'll also mark top and bottom. That's our center line through the whole installation. So we'll go ahead and drill or mark our holes. We'll pull this off. We'll turn it 90 degrees. We'll line up the other notches with that vertical line and the side ones with our horizontal line. We'll be ready to route that slit right into the material, whether it's the body or into a pickguard. Now, when I say drill or mark, that leads me to version 3. I was thinking that drilling through this plastic is just going to, run a drill bit through the drill holes, and this is just going to destroy it pretty quick. So I was thinking maybe I'll make one that just has some recesses, and you can use like a thumbtack or a sewing needle or something small and sharp, a little scribe or awl poke or a prick marks for where you want to drill. Remove this, drill your holes, reinstall it for the slit on your horizontal line and aligned with your vertical line, and then you can route the slit in the material. Yes, let's take a look at using this in real life as we start the next project. All right, we're going to give one of these templates a test here. We have our imaginary pickguard material, which is actually a plastic Bondo pallet, but use your imagination. We draw a straight line where the switch is going to go, just so we know the line that runs through the screws and the blade switch itself. We drop our template on there, and this is the version that has the 2 little valleys that you'd use a push pin or something to mark where you're going to drill. I also marked the perpendicular notches so I know where the center line is running, at 90 degrees to my horizontal line. Using a 9/64 inch drill bit, I'm drilling the 2 mounting holes. That goes pretty easy. Now I'm going to reattach the routing template, and I've rotated it 90 degrees from where the original screw mounting hole marks were. Now we attach it. I'm using double-sided adhesive tape, which is like a double-sided masking tape, basically. Getting it all lined up again using both the long horizontal line we originally drew and also the perpendicular line that runs through the center of the blade switch itself. Take your time, get it on there, make sure you get everything aligned. And when you look through that big center oval, the slit you'll be routing in, you'll be able to tell if you have things slid one way or another. Make sure, take your time, get it aligned properly at this point, and you'll be very successful. Here I'm using a palm router with a base that has a 1/2 inch brass insert. You can get them in steel inserts and various other things too. And also an 1/8 inch routing bit. This is a spiral bit. Doing a couple quick passes, shutting it off, pulling it out of there, and the hard work is pretty much done. And now we're prepping the switch just to make sure everything fits, and it does, spoiler alert, I'll give it a test to make sure that the blade of the switch itself doesn't bind on whether it be the body or the pickguard material. And we have success. Life is good. We're going to take a look at the other version that has 2 drill holes, 9/64 inch drill holes. And once you get it printed, take your drill bit and run through those holes to make sure everything fits just right. Even though these holes were spec'd out at the right size, the printing material I used kind of swelled and filled in the holes just a little bit. But, be prepared for something like that. Once again, we do our long horizontal line that the path of the switch will ride along, double checking it here. I'm also going to check and mark the perpendicular center line that will run through the middle of the blade switch at a 90 degree to our long initial line. Why not just sketch a line right on there now? Let's do that. Zip. Okay, now we've got a lot of lines going. We will attach our plastic template to our surface, whether it's a pick guard or a guitar body that's prepped for this. We're going to follow the exact same process as we did with the first template we tested and get the template stuck down on the center line we drew. Use a 9/64 inch drill bit to drill the holes, pull the template off, rotate it 90 degrees, and then cut the slit, and you're ready to install your switch. I can't even get through a full video without screwing around with stuff. We have our 2 different templates that we were looking at, and yet I just created a third, or actually this is the 4th. Something looked kind of different there. So my thinking was, instead of having one template that you would rotate the whole thing, I'm going to have one base that you stick down, align it to lines that you maybe have drawn so you know where you want your switch. You just stick this down, then you drop in this little guy, which is the drill hole marks, and then you pull it out and rotate and cut the slit for the switch itself. So you stick this down, you'd put the centerpiece in, you would either mark or drill your holes. You just pull this piece out, turn it 90 degrees, whichever way that is. And then you would use your router with a 1/2 inch outside diameter bushing and put it in there, 1/8 inch router bit, and cut your slit. Everything will be aligned. Oh boy, why didn't I think of that to begin with? Thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I hope this helps out some people, if not everybody. Actually, there'll be a little bitty illustration too. If you want to make this, if you don't have a 3D printer, you can make this out of MDF or plywood or something also. A little more work potentially, but it's a handy little device. Anyway, thanks for hanging with me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the thumbs up button, ring the bell for whatever that does for you. Leave comments. I love hearing from everybody all around the world. Until next time, take care of yourself and those around you. Bye.